mean, I internalized that as opportunity. We had such a responsibility to this audience to deliver something and to have the opportunity to deliver something for a passionate group of people.
Yes.
As someone who's so deeply passionate myself, I was so excited about that. I would so much rather have that than people who are indifferent.
Blasé.
I really don't like this woman. I am so angered by her ability to think she can just take control and she knows better. Because of Justin's cut and a lot of stuff that happened, she realized they had a hit on their hands.
Well, I actually knew of the film before I knew of Colleen's book, which is, I know, a unique entry point, but I think because I just have 1,000 children, I, have missed all of pop culture. Her significant impact in the world of books. I mean, so many of her books are on the New York Times bestseller. I mean, it's crazy.
She has made herself into the new Amber Heard. And now he's going full Johnny Depp on her to show that she was the bully. She was the one harassing him. This guy who had, comparatively very little power was forced now to come out and tell the truth about Blake Lively.
We always tease each other. He was, after I gave birth, he was like, oh my gosh, if I lost you and I, went to the park with our 3 kids, think of the ladies I could. This is a horrible thing to say. I've got a long list. And I was like, oh really? Because I just have one on my list.
Oh.
I don't have anyone on my list.
And it wasn't funny anymore.
No, he's like, wait, who? And I was like,
he's guessing.
Someone.
Right.
Tom Newhart. I don't know.
The idea that people think that they know you, I think because of how intrusive media is these days. People care so much more about your personal life than they do your work. And if you aren't open with your personal life, then they just make it up for you and share it for you. A lot of it's my real life clothes or my husband's clothes or my girlfriend Gigi's clothes. I was borrowing some.
Wait, that's kind of, so you have something of Gigi's in the movie.
Yeah, it's like a wedding, like something old, something borrowed, something blue. So I'm wearing her stuff all over it.
Oh, really?
Tons of like Bodhi, which is with the suit now that I'm wearing is Bodhi. It was meant for my husband, but I borrowed it.
His suit?
It was meant for him to wear, but it's so pretty. Look at it.
Actually, I was aware of the movie before I was aware of Colleen's book, which is a unique entry point. But I believe that because I have 1,000 kids, I have missed all of pop culture and her enormous influence on the book industry. So many of her books are on the New York Times bestseller list, it's insane. Have you heard the shocking rumor sweeping Hollywood at the moment? People are saying that Tom Holland has exposed Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively for supposedly trapping him in a convoluted Marvel scam that makes people think of the disaster. Justin Baldwin supposedly went through the talk is that Ryan's been burning with envy over Tom's Spider-Man stardom bitter. He never got to webs across the Marvel universe, and now Tom's had enough of what he calls a manipulative stunt snapping back with furious accusations that have the entire industry whispering is Ryan's squeaky clean image finally unraveling. You won't believe these stories swirling around Tinseltown, so buckle up because we're about to dismantle one of the most shocking showdowns in recent memory. If you're wondering how 2 major household names went from polite acquaintances to alleged backstabbers, sources say it all started with a single spark of jealousy. Tom Holland exploded onto the scene as Spider-Man. He nailed the role so thoroughly that even veteran Marvel fans couldn't stop applauding Ryan Reynolds, who'd already carved out a comedic cheeky niche as Deadpool was said to be anything but thrilled. Some folks whisper that Ryan was convinced he'd dominate Marvel's comedic superhero brand only for Tom's portrayal of a bright-eyed, witty, unstoppable Spider-Man to steal that thunder. Allegedly, it wasn't just mild envy, it ran deeper. Ryan had been showbiz royalty. For a while, his name synonymous with big box office hits and unstoppable sarcasm. Then Tom showed up with a refreshing style that fans adored, youthful, genuine, and surprisingly agile. When it came to major stunts, suddenly, Ryan wasn't the only charismatic star overshadowing everyone else in comedic superhero territory. But here's where things get outrageous. People hint that Ryan tried to undercut Tom's opportunities by nudging certain gatekeepers at Marvel to see if they could adjust Tom's future involvement naturally. The rumor has never been verified by official channels, but that hasn't stopped it from spreading among fans who smell more than a hint of sabotage throughout it all. Tom, who once admired Ryan's comedic timing and box office presence, became suspicious after noticing that certain deals were either stalling or had strange clauses. Was this a coincidence, or was someone subtly turning the tables against him? The more Tom investigated, the more his alleged frustration ballooned. But if you thought it was all about Ryan's jealousy, think again, as Blake Lively's name appears in every rumor, stoking conjecture that she may have planned more than anyone realizes. Blake Lively, who is well known for her glitzy red carpet appearance and quick-witted remarks that usually convey a friendly, all-American vibe, is allegedly painting a much darker portrait. According to some insiders, she had a strong hand in pressuring Ryan to confront Tom in subtle manipulative ways. She wasn't just cheering from the sidelines, she was steering the ship. If you believe certain insiders, she reasoned that allowing Tom to star climb unhindered would flatten Ryan's comedic brand because, after all, how could Ryan stand out if another Marvel hero was taking center stage with a charming accent and unstoppable positivity? Supposed insiders cite hush-hush phone calls and cryptic text exchanges that describe how the two might coerce Tom into signing or rejecting certain Marvel crossovers. The plan was to make Tom doubt his own career so Ryan could intervene bravely, or so the story goes. But things took a different turn when some people began drawing parallels between Tom's situation and the alleged manipulations Justin Baldoni, who is best known for a number of heartfelt projects, reportedly also experienced the pain of being misled by powerful people. Although we don't have official receipts or public screenshots, the parallels are striking, at least to those who say they've seen these hush-hush messages. Industry insiders are wondering, is Blake really the crafty mastermind behind her husband's comedy empire? Did she encourage Ryan to pull strings and corner? Before we get into that, let's discuss how this all relates to a rumored Marvel scam picture. Tom was concerned that they might lose the public's admiration if the younger star rose unopposed. If that's the case, it's a clever move worthy of any high-stakes soap opera. Just wait. Word on the street is that their so-called leaked audio could blow these allegations sky-high. Tom, who is excited about new Marvel collaborations, is suddenly faced with a barrage of contract amendments and strange terms that only tie his hands. Rumor has it that these conditions were thrown onto the table at the last minute, leaving Tom to wonder who is in charge of causing such chaos. Suspicions swiftly shifted to Ryan and Blake, who allegedly had the influence and connections to change behind-the-scenes negotiations. According to some, Ryan used his celebrity status to make suggestions that undermined Tom's creative control or diminished his presence in some upcoming Marvel phases. Sources even claimed that some Marvel executives were left perplexed by new proposals or, at the very least, murmured among themselves that something suspicious was happening, but no one wanted to cross Ryan Reynolds, a successful comedian with a strong, almost untouchable brand. This is where the term scam keeps coming up in conversation. People are calling it a deliberate deception meant to make Tom feel undervalued in the overall Marvel plot because, if Tom's star fades, Deadpool's comedic edge will take center stage and eclipse Spidey's youthful energy. The story doesn't end with Marvel, though. This rumored scam allegedly exhibits a pattern that is reminiscent of the Justin Baldoni scandal in a different context. Identical pattern of manipulation, if that is to be accepted if Tom felt trapped. It wouldn't be the first time because Ryan and Blake aren't exactly amateurs at cornering unsuspecting industry peers. They're rumored to keep their circle close, their methods subtle, and their tracks covered. But believe me, this scam only gets hotter once we get into Tom's explosive reaction and Ryan's alleged jealousy factor. Tom Holland made a name for himself as a friendly and courteous person, especially when he makes jokes during interviews or unintentionally gives away Marvel spoilers. It's difficult to picture him as a furious character behind the scenes, but the rumor has it that he lost it when he learned of these alleged manipulations. He reportedly called close pals in wrath, made angry comments, and vowed never to be fooled like this again. Even the most steadfast Marvel veterans would have been shaken by Tom's outburst behind closed doors. Ryan's feelings of jealousy. Ryan supposedly decided to undermine Tom's success by portraying him as too innocent or undeveloped for significant crossovers because he was tired of hearing how cute or ideal Tom looked in the Spidey outfit. Ryan warned several influential people that Tom would overwhelm fan favorites if he received too many cameo appearances. Does that make sense logically? Perhaps not, but petty jealousies rarely follow reason, do they? Tom felt deceived on several levels. Ryan had always come across as the helpful, humorous guy who might offer a few sage words but was ultimately a team player. But behind the scenes, Tom saw a different picture of Ryan potentially undermining him whenever he could. The more Tom dug deeper, the more he discovered references to Blake encouraging Ryan to keep the new kid out of the spotlight. At least that's the version that's circulating. Tom may be at the heart of this storm, but whether it's real or not, it's a flammable rumor. If you think the drama ends there, wait till you hear how Hollywood's biggest personalities are responding. He is undoubtedly not alone in facing such disclosures. According to rumors, Tom received a quiet word of encouragement from Chris Evans, who is known for being a helpful presence on set, along the lines of "keep your head up, people play dirty sometimes." Conversely, Robert Downey Jr. is said to have dismissed the drama with a mysterious shrug, stating, "Hollywood games never change." It's unclear from their casual Tony Stark demeanor whether they truly believe Tom, or whether they're simply sick of the chaos behind the scenes. According to some tabloids, Scarlett Johansson and Chris Hemsworth may have learned of these accusations as well, and secretly felt sorry for Tom after seeing the mayhem that can erupt around celebrity power couples. While this is going on, Justin Baldwin's name keeps coming up as though he was involved in some cautionary tale about the Reynolds lively duo's alleged manipulative skills. The theory is that Justin saw a pattern, recognized the same hush-hush moves, and wanted to alert Tom before it was too late. But we must remember that Hollywood is a place where loyalty shifts, and there are those who remain steadfast. Fans of Ryan Reynolds are attributing the entire situation to Tom being overly sensitive or overinterpreting the dynamics of the industry. However, the rift widens daily as new information comes to light. If the rumors about the secret audio are accurate, we might see lines drawn in the sand. Will the comic darling Ryan stand tall against the heroic youngster Tom, or will new bombshells blow Ryan's squeaky clean persona to pieces? That's the question everyone is wondering, but the biggest shocker is still to come. If you believe the talk is saying that they've gathered everything from suspicious text messages to voice recordings that paint a damning picture of Ryan and Blake's behind-the-scenes actions, imagine a brief clip of Ryan making fun of Tom's stunts or telling a Marvel insider that Spidey is overhyped, or an audio clip of Blake telling a friend, "We can't let Tom overshadow Ryan again, it's messing with our brand." Although none of them are verified, the rumor alone is enough to send fans into a frenzy, and they are already searching social media for leaks. People in fan sites are constantly speculating about the possibility that Tom, who is notorious for unintentionally giving away plot pieces, will be the one to drop the bombshell that destroys the Reynolds brand. In a scathing interview, Tom abruptly drops the receipts, shattering Ryan's meticulously constructed humorous character. It's what tabloids dream about. A cinematic revelation that exposes every crafty move, and that's before we even discuss the purported breakdown that took place behind the curtains. Ryan is allegedly going crazy if he finds out that Tom has something material, but the true twist is how the public responds. We don't know who will end up looking foolish, but the tension is real, and the Hollywood rumor mill is consuming every scrap of gossip. Justin Baldwin's name keeps coming up, reminding everyone of a previous disaster that never happened, presumably because he backed down. Tom might not be as quick to do the same now as Marvel prepares for future phases and expansions. Will audiences turn on Ryan, someone they've admired for his comedic timing and easygoing banter, or will Tom be painted as a naive upstart stirring to get attention? How is the alleged civil war between Ryan Reynolds and Tom Holland being handled? According to some, Kevin Feige and other Marvel architects are attempting to mediate the conflict in order to protect the brand. We are at the center of a whirling rumor that accuses Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively of setting up Tom Holland in a Marvel scam, driven by jealousy over Tom's unstoppable Spider-Man legacy. There is talk of secret phone calls and tampered contracts. The last thing Marvel needs is to watch two fan favorites destroy each other, overshadowing upcoming releases, but the question still stands. Did they ignore the alleged sabotage all along? Clever persuading and quiet moment meltdowns according to the purported similarities with Justin Baldwin's experience. This may not be the first time the famous couple has used these strategies, and in a startling turn of events, the fatherly comedy the Ryan Reynolds we see on social media may not be the crafty puppet master that the rumors suggest. Is he just a brilliant comedian? Or is he an entitled manipulator who singled out Tom out of animosity? Is Tom taking advantage of a delicious topic to make headlines, or is he a gullible victim of Hollywood politics? We are unable to verify any of this, but the story is incredibly captivating. With every new leak and cryptic hint, the boundaries between rumor and reality become increasingly hazy, raising the crucial question of whether Ryan's empire will fall apart due to the pressure of these shocking accusations, or whether Tom will end up permanently looking foolish and challenging a comedic